Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Well, let's talk Keystone College Giants baseball here on the show. Jamie Shevchik is joining us right now, the head coach. Coach, you got some games in this year. I don't know about much practice, but tell us a little bit about your story there at Keystone this year.
This has been one of the craziest springs in my 15 years of coaching at Keystone College. The weather has just been crazy. We've played the good thing is we're playing games. We've played 27 games already, and we are on pace to finish out our 40-game regular season. The bad thing is, we've only practiced on a baseball field 4 times this year.
That's unbelievable. How have you guys been able to do that? I mean, tell us about, you're 17-10 at this point, but putting the product out there. I'm sure the guys aren't minding the game so much, but as coaches, there's stuff that I'm sure you want to say, okay, we need to focus on this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you use your practice time, especially on the field, to make the corrections of the stuff that went wrong in the game. Now, our season is supposed to start in the 3rd week in February, prior to when we even go to Florida for a week. And we were canceled, probably a dozen games. We had to play extra games in Florida this year than we would have liked. It stretched our pitching real thin. We come back from Florida in the 2nd, 3rd week of March, and we're right back to snow and rain. And we've probably had about 15 games either postponed or rescheduled, canceled, whatever it might be. But over the course of the last couple of weeks, we're playing every day. 2 weeks ago, we played 9 games in 5 days, and it's going to go right back into this week. I mean, this week it was for the Strikeout Cancer weekend. We play Friday, single game doubleheader Saturday, single game Sunday, single game Monday. So it's just a lot of baseball.
Well, you hit on that, the Bill Howerton Strikeout Cancer weekend. You're an integral part of this whole weekend. Brian Jardine's done a great job. A few other area coaches have really taken the ball and run with it, so to speak. But tell us about your role, Jamie, and of course, getting the Keystone Giants involved.
Well, anybody who knows or have heard of Bill Howerton, he's been a mentor to a lot of the young coaches, the young coaches at the time, and in particular, Brian Jardine and myself. He's a guy that kind of got our careers kick-started. Coach Jardine coached for him, and Bill mentored me. Anytime I had any kind of questions, whether related to baseball or whatever it was an easy trip to the Tagley Sporting Goods or just to give Bill a call on the phone, and he gave me, a ton of advice over the years. So we became really close. And he didn't just do that with me or Brian. He did that with every local college or college baseball coach, high school coach that was getting started in the business. He wanted to see those guys succeed. So when he passed away, what better way to pay him back other than with baseball? Getting the colleges and the local high schools involved, everybody who he's helped, and keeping his name alive. That's the most important thing.
And everybody getting involved, softball teams in the area as well here in northeastern Pennsylvania, and even other parts of Pennsylvania are doing this. And it's great to see it spread. And you guys have really done a nice job of marketing this thing. And the area coaches have responded, and so has the community.
It's been great. It started off 2 years ago with probably a dozen teams. Jeremy Ruby and the guys at the stadium have been awesome to allowing us to use that field. All the local college coaches have been great, allowing us to use their fields. We're close to 30 teams right now throughout the weekend, and like you said, softball is now included. And it's worked its way into Allentown, Pennsylvania, in Bethlehem. So it's not people who've never heard of Bill Howerton before are getting involved just because of the cause. Obviously, locally, it's with Howie's name on it. But, it's starting to spread across the state. Hopefully, who knows where this thing can go in the next couple of years.
Absolutely, and we're proud to be a part of it here at the John Mendola Show. The Bill Howerton Strikeout Cancer Weekend is coming up, and, of course, the Keystone Giants will be involved. Coach, you mentioned all those games together. How about the injuries? Has that played a part at all with your team?
Position player wise, we've been pretty healthy. Like I said earlier, playing all those games has stretched our pitching thin. The way our conference schedule works is you play Friday, then 2 games on Saturday, and then you don't play until the following weekend. You play some non-conference games in between. But because of all the cancellations, we're playing 5, 6 conference games in a week, and you don't have the luxury of using your top 3, top 4 starters. So if you look at our statistics, we've got guys across the board that are getting innings. Freshmen that normally don't pitch at the varsity level are soaking up a lot of innings. And, obviously it's different. It's just, everybody's contributing. Our pitchers are banged up a little bit. We're trying to get some guys healthy, for the stretch run into the playoffs.
We're talking Keystone College baseball here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Coach, every year you seem to put out some great teams, that's for sure. How about this year? It's 17-10. Tell us about this stretch run for you guys, where you think you'll line up when the playoffs come around.
Right now, we're not where we thought we would be at this point. And granted, there's been, like we said, the back end of our bullpen, some pitching injuries, the guys that need to get healthy. But we're playing so many baseball games that it's just extremely hard for us to get into a rhythm this year. We're sitting at 17-10. We're in right now. We're in the top 4 in our conference, and other teams are getting a lot better. Marywood University sitting on top of our conference right now. We still have a lot of games to play. And, I thought this was going to be one of the best teams that we've ever had, and I really do still think that it's going to be. We lost 14 players from last year's team that ended up winning the conference, and we just had a great recruiting class. And, when it gets to the end, when we get into that conference tournament, our goal is, and it's our belief, that we're going to make a run at it again.
Well, there's no doubt. I'm sure you guys will. Jamie, you've done a tremendous job there at Keystone over the years, as you said, 15 years. Boy, time is flying. It's great covering you guys the last several years and talking with you and getting a little baseball talk going. So we wish you well down here in the stretch run the next several weeks.
Appreciate it, John. Thank you.
Jamie Shevchik, the head coach of the Keystone Giants here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.